Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to share the danger of bad debt. 10 reasons you should avoid it at all costs because it's very, very dangerous for you and it obviously won't take you anywhere. Okay, if you like this video or any of my videos, hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more of these amazing tutorials. So, there's so many people working ridiculous long hours only to be able to pay for their bad debt, okay? Their bad debt is literally taking over their lifestyles, taking over their relationships. Literally, they've got no choice but to actually just work to pay their debt. But before we start talking about bad debt and the danger of bad debt, let's understand what good debt and bad debt is, right? Bad debt is a debt that you take either to go on holiday, to buy for someone a gift, right? Or to buy expensive trainers that is not used for work, or basically to buy cars just to show off, or buying TVs, sofas, etc., that doesn't bring you income. For example, if you pay for a holiday, once you've gone to the holiday, you've gone back, there's nothing, you've got to pay that debt. If you buy a gift for someone by taking a debt, again, that's another trouble. So these are the sort of thing that we call bad debt. In a contrast, what is a good debt? A good debt is any debt you take that you invest that gives you residual income. Let's take this into perspective, okay? Or basically a good debt is any debt you've taken to educate yourself, to be able to utilize what you've educated on to make you or generate you income, mainly passive income. This is what we call a good debt. And again, let's just go into it slightly so you know what that good debt is. Say for example, you paid for a property course. Maybe you jump on my property investment crash courses, or maybe you've jumped onto my mentorship program. You educate yourself to start investing in properties or to learn how to invest in properties. So that sort of investment, it's a good investment because basically you're doing that course or you're going through that mentorship program to allow you or to expedite your process to start buying or acquiring investment properties, which will generate you handsome return on investment. Alternatively, you could take a debt to maybe buy a property, right, or to lease a property that will bring you cash flow. You can borrow money from the bank. Suppose you want to buy £100,000 property, you'll put down £25,000 and the bank will lend you £75,000, which is 75% of buying that house. You put that money in to buy that house. So once you've bought that house, you'll be renting that house to a tenant. So what happens then? The tenant pays for the debt. The tenant pays you the rent. You deduct your interest for that loan for the £75,000 and any other expenses, whatever is left over will be your profit. That's what we call net profit or cash flow. So basically, that debt is a good debt because it's bringing you rental income, less all your expenses, and generating you handsome profit in your debt. Again, for a straight buy-to-let property, that could be anywhere from £250 to about £300 or £400. And again, that sort of debt is a good debt. Or getting a debt to actually acquire a rent-to-rent property or rent-to-service accommodation property. And again, I won't go in defining what these strategies are, but again, these are strategies that allow you to make anywhere from £400 to about £2,000 a calendar month. So again, these sort of debts are good debts because they're bringing you residual income. They're making you money, right? It's not like the debt that you incur for your wedding or save for going to a party, etc. So these sort of debts are bad debt. In contrast, these are debts that will bring you money. Suppose you invest in rent to rent. So basically, these are the two differences. So what I like to point out to you today is basically the 10 reasons why you should avoid the bad debt I've just indicated there for you just now. Paying for holidays, by paying for expensive trainers from credit cards or from bank loan, etc. So I would like to pinpoint 10 of these things that you could avoid to actually take your financial situation to the next level. One of the first things you need to avoid that makes it so dangerous, the 10th thing that makes it so dangerous is number one, it's very easy to overspend. Okay? Suppose you went online, in your laptop, your desktop, you went online, you search ClearScore or maybe Experian, and they've told you you can literally get a £10,000 credit card for yourself, and they will tell you it's interest free for the first 12 months or so. So you get that credit card, basically you've got £10,000 in that credit card, you get tempted basically to go on holidays buy expensive trainers, expensive TVs, laptops, PlayStations, games, etc., etc. You get tempted. You actually got the money in you, with you, so you can just go and spend it. So it's very, very easy to spend once you've got a credit card, because obviously you're not thinking about when you're going to pay it. So again, it's very easy once you've got this. Or maybe you've got actually you want to buy sofa beds, etc., or you want to buy a sofa, and again you've got a credit card. You can just whack that on a credit card, hoping that you would pay it once you've got paid, only to realize that you've got so many expenses, so the money you actually earn from your work is not really sufficient to be able to pay that debt, and then that's how you accumulate your debt. And then the another reason you should avoid it, basically, it puts you in a funny position, because the future is unpredictable, right? If you get a debt, you got a job, and then you've lost that job. As soon as you've lost that job, or you've lost that job, you're basically in a massive trouble, especially if you haven't got any investment property. So what that means, basically, you're literally in trouble to pay your debt, because you haven't got money to actually pay your debt, and you're not working. Obviously, if you're not working, guess what? You won't be able to pay your debt. So it puts you in a very, very unpredictable situation. So again, that's one of the reasons why you should avoid it. Imagine you're working a good, nice job. You walk down the road, maybe you fall ill, or maybe touch base, something happened to you, you literally lose your job, and then you've got nothing else coming in. And then obviously if you've got a debt, that puts you in a very, very, very bad situation. And another reason why you should avoid it, basically, debt is subtracted from your net worth. So again, if you have too much of a bad debt, say you're earning £25,000 a year and your debt is about £10,000-15,000, that means you haven't got a net worth, because they will take that £15,000 minus on the £25,000, you're only worth about £10,000, and that £10,000 really is not any worth, because that doesn't include all the expenses you incur every single month. So again, that's another reason why you should avoid bad debt, because it would put you in that sort of situation. And basically, the other reason is why you should avoid it, because it's very easy to get into debt. You know, it's very easy. As I said, you can get a credit card, you can walk to the bank. The banks want you to be in debt basically, because that's how they make money. So they can charge you interest for the debt. It's very easy, but trust me, it's very, very difficult to get out of debt, right? It's very, very difficult, especially credit card debt that tells you you only have to pay the minimum amount. So they want you to pay the minimum amount, because they want you to take the longest possible time to pay them back, because the longer you pay them back, the more money they make. So again, once you start paying your minimum balances, what that means, basically, your debt is accumulating every single month, and then obviously it ends up being a gigantic debt that literally gets you to have sleepless nights. And then basically, taking debt, one of the reasons why I think is dangerous and should avoid it by all costs, is like you're stealing from your future. You're absolutely stealing from your future. So if you take one credit card, second credit card, fourth credit card, you accumulate to £25,000 to £30,000. Once you've got that debt, you're not thinking about investment, right? You're thinking about how you can pay that debt. So basically, you're stealing from yourself, because what that means, you have to pay that debt first before you even get proper good debt. Because what the bank would do, if you approach them saying you want to buy a property, you want 75%, they'll look if you have any current debt. If they realize you've got lots of bad debt, you may not be able to have that mortgage, right? Because you've got you are too leveraged to them. You are too risky for them to invest with you. So again, that is stealing from your future, and you don't want to do that. So if you don't want to do that for your future, do not take those debts. I know it's tempting. It's really, really, really tempting, especially with the society we are living right now. You get emails every single day saying you qualify to get £10,000, you qualify to get £25,000, £30,000, especially if you're working. That puts you in a temptation. So again, you do not want to steal from your future. If you want to take a debt, make sure it's a debt that will generate you passive income. And another reason why you should avoid taking up debt is basically the debt restricts you from your freedom, right? If you have this debt, there's a limited things you could do, right? You've paid the debt, you've taken a debt to go on holiday 1, 2, 3 times, you buy so many stuff for yourself, and now you want to go on holiday, you can't. Right? And then obviously, if you got a debt, you want to quit your job to invest in properties full time. Again, you can't, because you've got a massive debt over you. because you'll be worried, if I leave that job, I haven't earned enough money to be able to actually move from not having a job to from having a job, from not having a job, investing in properties. You won't be able to do it because you are tied in. So basically, it literally tighten you in a narrow corner, and you don't want to be in that sort of corner. So again, what you need to do, think about the debt. Don't take it if it's not adding any value into you. And debt costs more. It costs ridiculously more money. It's expensive, especially some people who go on and take payday loans. Payday loans is the most ridiculous scam I've ever seen in my life. Right? They will charge you 1% interest in a £10 loan. So again, it gets you more money. You pay significantly more than you borrow. Again, credit card debts are exactly the same thing. Basically, they get you to pay the minimum amount and then they rack that debt up, and it costs you a ridiculous amount of money. I've got someone who's been in debt for over 10 years. They still haven't finished paying that debt, and they're all bad debts. And again, I'm sharing this video for you to understand that if you are one of those people who are doing it, you're not going to lie to yourself. You're not going to deceive yourself. If you know you are one of those people, I urge you to actually rethink to ensure that you stop doing what you're doing right now. It's not too late, by the way. Even if you're in it, if you're using that credit card every single month to buy things that you don't need, stop it. Stop it straight away, right? Stop it straight away, because it's gonna make you so stressful, so depressed in some occasions, and even being ashamed to walk outside. So again, stop that. That is not a good thing. And another reason why you should avoid bad debt is basically debt changes your relationships. Basically, it wrecks your relationship, right? If you're in a debt, you've accumulated so much debt, it will start impacting your relationship. Maybe your partner wants to go on holiday, you've got so much that you can afford it, or you want to do something as a family, you can't do it because of the debt. Guess what? It wrecks your relationships, okay? So again, think about it. You're not doing it because you want people to say, wow, you look amazing. You have to do something that is beneficial to you and your family. I've seen family separations because of one of the partners got so many debts. I knew someone basically who had so much debt for his wedding. They got married. Within few months, they divorced. They divorced because there's so much debt. There was a problem every single day in their household because the other partner thinking, okay, life is all flourish every night, everything is nice. And they moved into that house, and then all of a sudden there's not enough money going around to support each other. And then obviously that then wrecked the relationship, and then obviously they end up going through divorce. Debt makes your finance messy, basically, because if you take a debt, you cannot plan, right? You just cannot plan because your finances would be messy. You won't be able to take a mortgage. You won't be able to go on holiday. You won't be able to get a rent because you'll be worrying about, oh, what can I do to sort this thing out? And then it puts you in a funny situation. And unfortunately, 60%, I read an article recently, 60% of UK households are literally loaded with debt. That is the reason why they're in jobs that they don't like. They don't want to pay in. They just have to go to these jobs so that they can pay for their debt. Again, if you are one of those people, I really, really urge you to actually rethink your strategy, right? Rethink about the strategy. Does it really worth taking a debt that doesn't add value to you? If it doesn't worth it, don't do it, right? Delay your gratification, invest in yourself, invest in assets that will generate you passive income, that will take your lifestyle and your life, your family life to the next level. And again, I know it's very difficult, it's very tempting, especially when we are loaded with so many gadgets right now that tells you can afford this, you can get this, you can get that, you can buy this tablet today, there's a new iPhone there yesterday, today we've got a new Apple phone, we've got so many stuff throwing at us, okay? So again, this is the time that you restrict yourself. You said, listen, if it's not adding any value to my life, I'm off it, right? I'm not gonna do it. Buying expensive things stops now, especially with the situation we are in right now. We are about to hit recession, and we're about to literally have a massive snowfall of recession. It might be even a depression. So this is the time you need to think about expensive, ensure that you haven't gone into debt that would put you in a very difficult position with you and your family. And again, I really hope this video has been helpful and you've learned a lot from it. If you like this video or any of my videos, hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more of these amazing tutorials. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to sharing the next video.